So yeah, there's definitely an element of weaponry in sorcery because the fallen angels gave us weapons. They gave us technology. And sorcery definitely has its weaponry. In Puerto Rico, in the tradition, I was initiated into, we call it tiri tapate, which means throw and take cover. So offense and defense. And so I'm going to give some examples of weapons, both defensive as well as offensive. So this is one example, and this is used in the Nawade Buddhist tradition. And as you can see, I have a fondness for works of art because there's no difference between a well-crafted work of art or technology and sorcery, right? This was created by somebody from the Vishvakarma family. And for those that know, Vishvakarma is Vulcan, right? So this comes from a family that is deeply steeped into the tradition, and so you can tell just by the craftsmanship of it. It's iron, but it will not rust, so they have mastered the creation of iron that does not rust. That is an indication of a very good family, right? And you could see the serpent rising. This is a symbol of the spinal column of the 33 degrees. And this is the energy, the dragon energy that rises up the spine. And then you have the three currents, right? You have Ida, Pingala, and Shushumna, which are the three neutral. So you have the tree of life. This is the tree of life, right? And then you have severity and mercy. Same thing. And then the central column that holds it all together. So this is what this represents, and this here just represents the force of death, right? Because that's what we deal with with life and death. And sex and death are the instruments, the power sources from which we derive our strength. And so this is used in traditions that go back further back than Buddhism and Hinduism. This goes back to sorcery. This comes from the sorcerers. And this is just an extension of your will, because the arm, as my Tai Chi master would say, the body, the energy comes from the foot, from the earth, and it spirals up through the spine, out through the arm. And so it comes in a spiral form. And so when I direct this, right, I am directing that force that I suck up from the earth, right? So my whole body is an instrument of force and flow. And so this is just an extension of that, right? So there's that. And then there's this here. This is the thunderbolt, the Vajra, Dorje. Jupiter holds this. Saturn holds this. This is divine right, and only those that have permission can wield it. And this is why my godfather did the high priesthood initiation for me, which incurred the wrath of my arch enemy, my godfather's right hand man, who called me the double-edged sword in the balance, because he didn't want me to wield that kind of authority, right? And so that's what the high priesthood or the third degree is for, to allow you to wield implements. And so this is the same thing as that there, except that here you have the same thing. You have the twin currents, and then you have the central channel, right? And so it's the same thing. You take it and you direct energy with it. Do you understand? So this is just what it is, and the Buddhists use it in a very ritualized and kind of fashion, but the sorcerers are far more, how would you say, fluid in the way they use these implements. And so this is what it is to help you to direct force and flow. So this is the purpose of that. Anyway, so there's that. This is a defensive, right? This is a bronze mirror, because before there were glass mirrors, there were bronze mirrors. And so bronze mirrors, you would have them, a shaman would wear that, sorcerer. And so the whole purpose of a bronze mirror is to be able to speculate. It's like an oracle, but it also serves as reflection. You're reflecting back whatever they're sending at you. So that's what this. So this is more of a defensive kind of investigative kind of implement. Last but not least, here is the voodoo staff, right? It's something I brought from the Caribbean, and same thing, same principle. You can see the serpent combing up the spine, right? That's what that's all about. But then you have at the head, you have like a Janus here. You have two heads, and then you have this. They put a hole, and then they fill it with beeswax, fill secrets in there, and that's to give it life, right? But this is what this is, right? This is Janus, past and future, good and evil, what have you. I'm all about being beyond good and evil, but yeah, this is the voodoo staff. And again, this is just to exercise authority. When you tap it, when you enter the temple, that's what this is about. You're calling spirits, the ancestors with this, and the powers that be, the pungos, or the neteru, or the gods, or the angels, or whatever you want to call them. You know, those are just metaphors anyway. So, yeah, diri tapate, defense and offense, yin and yang, ebb and flow. That's what it's all about. Till next time.